Good morning, traders. This is Shane Scott, the moderator of Newsware's Trade Talk. At Trade Talk, we're providing you with the most up-to-the-minute news on the market, along with the facts, themes, and short-term trading ideas for the day ahead. Joining me today is our trading anchor, Bill Olson, who brings over 30 years of institutional trading knowledge to our program. We're going to go ahead and get things started with our markets update. U.S. futures are mixed this morning, with S&P futures down 0.1%, Dow futures up 0.03%, and NASDAQ futures down 0.19%. Markets have fluctuated while Treasuries have slumped this morning ahead of a key report on American inflation, certain to serve as an indicator as to the direction of upcoming central bank policy. With contracts on the S&P having ticked lower from a record high ahead of data, it's likely U.S. consumer prices jumped again in July. Also to note, the dollar has strengthened. Over in Europe, the Stock 600 index has edged higher amid strong earnings. Over in Asia, shares in Japan and China remained relatively unchanged, while over in South Korea, shares retreated after the country posted a record number of coronavirus cases. Bill, what are you seeing as far as market updates?
You know, Shane, I've been watching the S&Ps this morning, and they are trading lower. I'm looking at the big tech stocks, the big FANG stocks, and they're all moving lower this morning. But the key catalyst today is the CPI report. This is the inflationary report, and it's due out 1 hour before the market opens. Now, the market's expecting a just seasonally adjusted increase of 0.5% from July from June. If you remember the one before that, which was June to May, that one came in at 0.9% increase. So a slight increase is okay, but a significant increase is really going to be a problem, which may lead to lower equity prices this morning. I'm looking over at crude oil. It's still on watch this morning because why? There's this EIA stockpiles report coming out 1 hour after the market opens. I'm looking over at Asia. Asia was higher. Europe is positive this morning. But these big tech stocks, trading lower, that's a problem for me. That's an indication that the S&Ps are going to be moving lower today.
Moving to earnings to watch. Bill, tell us what we've been seeing so far.
McAfee, that's ticker MCFE, Michael Charlie Frank Edward, they beat by 3 cents on higher revenue. You look at McAfee this morning, it's up 4.75%. Fubo TV, that's ticker FUBO. They had missed by 12 cents on lower revenue, but they had higher subscribers. So that was a net positive for the stock. And you look at it this morning, it's up 15.71%. Poshmark, that's ticker POSH, they beat by 3 cents on higher revenue, but they came out and they said that new Apple ad policy is going to provide them lower returns in the future. Prego, this is ticker PRGO, Paul Richard Grace Oscar, they missed by 12 cents on lower revenue. You see that the stock is down 9.7% this morning. Wendy's beat by 9 cents on higher revenue. The stock is up 4.4% this morning, and they had a lot of good news coming out in their earnings report. So yeah, there were some good earnings last night and this morning, Shane.
Well, let's talk insights as far as upcoming earning announcements.
How about eBay? eBay's EPS estimate is 95 cents, and their expected move is 6.38%. Rackspace, that's ticker RXT, Richard X-Ray Tom, their EPS estimate is 21 cents, and the expected move here is 10.8%. Dillard's Department Store, ticker DDS, David Sam, their EPS estimate is 54 cents, and the expected move here is 13.5%. That's a big move for Dillard stock. Vroom, which is ticker VRM, EPS estimate is 49 cents, a loss of 49 cents. And the expected move here is 13.76%. NetEase, that's ticker NTES, they're coming out tomorrow morning. The EPS estimate is $5.19, and the expected move here is 8.44%. But that's those are the earnings that I'm watching for tomorrow, for this afternoon and tomorrow morning, Shane.
Well, moving into economic reports, Bill, tell us what we're seeing as far as reports today.
The big one, the CPI, Consumer Price Index, that's coming out at 8:30 this morning. At 10 a.m., we have the Atlanta Fed business inflation expectations, and at 10:30, you have the EIA oil stockpiles report that's coming out. There's a little Fed speak going on this morning. At 10:30 a.m., we have Atlanta Fed Bank President Raphael Bostic giving a speech, and at 2:30 p.m., Kansas City Fed Bank President Esther George will be speaking. But that's what I'm saying. But everybody's eyes are focused on the CPI report coming out at 8:30 this morning, Shane.
Moving into our morning's critical insights, starting things off with some acquisition news. Chesapeake Energy, ticker CHK, is set to acquire Viant Energy, ticker VEI, in a $2.2 billion deal. First Energy, ticker FE, is seeking to sell nearly 20% stake in its transmission business for potential proceeds of about $2.5 billion. Potential buyers include infrastructure funds and sovereign wealth funds. And Voya Financial, ticker VOYA, is exploring a potential acquisition of Alight, ticker ALIT, a provider of human resource services. According to sources, discussions are ongoing, and there's no assurance that the companies will reach a deal. Shares of Alight are 4.19% higher in pre-market. Elsewhere on the tape, Wendy's, ticker WEN, has raised its 2025 target for new restaurants to 80 to 90 new franchise restaurants, which would take them to 8,500 to 9,000 locations globally. Wendy's has also added $10 million to incremental investment in breakfast advertising in 2021, with the goal of growing breakfast sales by 10% in 2022. Wendy's share price is up 3.27% in pre-market. News on Virgin Galactic, ticker SPCE. The company has dropped over 4% in share price in pre-market this morning as Morgan Stanley downgraded the company to underweight at $25 per share as the company's sole mothership, Eve, is grounded for enhancements for 8 months starting in September. In contrast to this, SPCE is also developing its Delta-class spaceship, which will feature 1-week turnaround times, which will up the amount of operations the flights will be able to have per year that the company will be able to operate. In other news on Boeing, ticker BA. According to a flight tracking website, Boeing's 737 MAX test plane took a flight from Seattle to China as the company works to end the ground order imposed in March 2019. China's regulators will now present an aircraft evaluation report and make it available for comments before pilot training could begin. Boeing's share price is up 0.34% in pre-market. Some SPAC news. ADS TEC Energy is set to become a publicly traded company through a SPAC merger with European Sustainable Growth Acquisition, ticker EUSG. European Sustainable's share price is up 1.44% in pre-market. News on Tesla, ticker TSLA. Tesla has filed to produce 5 more versions of its Model Y at its Gigafactory in Shanghai, some of which will be used for exportation. Tesla's share price is down 0.29% in pre-market. News on Hyzon Motors, ticker HYZN. The company has signed an agreement with TTSI to provide a Class 8 heavy-duty fuel cell electric truck to TTSI for a 30-day trial in Q4. The truck is expected to have 600 peak horsepower and a range of up to 400 miles. Hyzon Motors' share price is up 2.5% in pre-market. Lastly, for me, news on Amazon, ticker AMZN. Amazon-backed Rivian is in talks for a $5 billion Texas plant. The factory would have the capacity to produce 200,000 electric vehicles a year and create at least 7,500 jobs by 2027. Bill, what are you seeing as far as this morning's news?
Well, Shane, I break my news alerts down, and I'm looking for specific sectors. I'm looking for specific events. It just helps me, jump quickly and pull the trigger when hot news hits one of these alerts. I look at my FANG alert this morning. I have Amazon. Federal judge on Tuesday dismissed Amazon's lawsuit to block New York's Attorney General from investigating the online retailer's ability to protect warehouse workers from COVID-19. Also, very important, apparently on Amazon, the NSA has apparently awarded a secret cloud computing contract worth up to $10 billion to Amazon. That's over Microsoft. So that's good news for Amazon. Apple, TSMC, that's Taiwan Semiconductor, their 3nm chip production is said to start for the second half of next year for Apple devices. Looking over at Google, that's ticker GOG. Google search, they're ramping up penalties for slow, annoying websites. Those websites that open up slowly. Well, you got to open up fast if you're going to get a high ranking on Google these days. So that new change is happening this month. So I look over at my Dow Jones 30 alert. Intel, a U.S. judge rejected Intel's request to set aside a jury verdict ordering the chip maker to pay VLSI Technology, $2.18 billion for patent infringement. Airlines, you got to be concerned about the airlines because they're under pressure this morning. Why? Southwest Airlines said it's recently experienced a deceleration in bookings and an increase in trip cancellations for August of this year. The company believes that these negative effects are being driven by the recent rise of COVID-19 cases associated with the Delta variant. You look at the airline stocks and they're all really trading lower. I mean, Southwest is down 2.4%. United Airlines is down 1.43%. American Airlines is down 1.24%, and JetBlue is down 1.5%. Yeah, the airlines are not, friendly to the market today. Looking at some option activity yesterday, it really was all in the natural resources stocks. Cleveland Cliffs, which is ticker CLF, Charlie, Larry, Frank. The options are active as the shares are trending higher amid the infrastructure headlines that are coming out. Southern Copper Company, that's ticker SCCO, Sam, Charlie, Charlie, Oscar. They had a call put ratio of 20 calls to every one put. That was very strong. You look at Nucor, that's ticker NUE. Now, they had a call put ratio of 5 calls to every one put. Steel Dynamics, their call put ratio was 4.6 calls every one put. Those infrastructure talks are really hot for the natural resources stocks. In terms of events going on today, ABMD, this is A Biomed. They're having a shareholders meeting that's starting at 8 a.m. this morning. And I see some short-term catalyst calls from Deutsche Bank this morning. Foot Locker, they're calling a short-term catalyst call, as well as Kohl's. But that's what I'm seeing this morning for the top headline, Shane.
Moving into our Trade Talk picks for today, I'm picking Baidu, ticker BIDU. This is an earnings play. It has an EPS estimate of $2.01 to be coming out before market open tomorrow. Second quarter results are expected to reflect gains from expansions in the autonomous driving space. So growing traction from the Apollo Go Robo Taxi service across China might have a hugely favored influence on the company in second quarter. So I think going into the earnings, there's going to be some positivity. Like we can see some gains. It's already up positive this morning. It's up 0.25% in pre-market, but that's not up that high. So I could see it going up a little bit more, for traders to be able to get some gains from this one. It might be some caution deciding whether or not to hold this one into earnings tomorrow because you never know what could happen. But at least going up into it, I expect some positivity. What's your pick looking like, Bill?
I'm going with Vroom. That's ticker VRM, Victor, Richard, Mary. I'm expecting Vroom to move higher today into this afternoon's earnings release. I review what the brokers are saying, and they're very positive on the stock. I look at the call activity. It was very positive. I saw 3.1 call to put ratio, and I know that the used car sales have been really hot. If you recall Carvana, which released recently, they smashed earnings expectations. So, I look at Vroom this morning. It is up in the pre-market. The spread is pretty wide. I want to wait till the opening to see if I can get the stock a little cheaper. But my pick for today is Vroom, ticker VRM, Victor, Richard, Mary.
Let's move into what's hot off the press. These are the headlines that are going to be moving the stocks today. So let's talk about it. Bill, which are the ones we should be letting traders know about?
Well, I'm really particularly interested in these airline stocks, these stories that are coming out. Southwest Airlines has fallen on a third quarter profit warning as the Delta virus is hitting the bookings. UAL, they're looking for a vaccine partner. And then I saw one that said U.S. Airlines web traffic is slowing. So, big negative on the airlines today.
News on Joby Aviation, ticker JOBY. The company is set to become public after closing Reinvent Technology Partners deal, which is a transaction that will have them at a $4.5 billion enterprise value.
Here's one on PepsiCo that's ticker PEP, Paul Edward Paul. It's Mountain Dew brand. They're going to be releasing Mountain Dew with alcohol. It's coming to store shelves thanks to a partnership with Boston Beer Company.
Lantern Pharma, ticker LTRN, has been granted orphan drug designation for its treatment for pancreatic cancer. Here's one on Cobar, ticker CWBR. Cobar had a phase 1 trial that met primary endpoints on a treatment for obesity.
It's a story on Disney. Disney faces more doubts as the Delta variant prolongs pandemic fears.
Toyota, ticker TM. Toyota has debuted mobile collision assistance service.
Cardinal Health, that's ticker CAH, Charlie Apple Henry. Cardinal Health extends pharmaceutical distribution agreements with CVS Health. Ticker U, which is Unity Software. They're gaining on a beat and raise. Announced to take over a Parsec for $320 million.
Amcor, ticker AMCR, is collaborating with Johnson & Johnson on some kind of lidding technology. Anything else interesting for you, Bill?
No, that's all I'm seeing today, Shane.
Same here. So that's what's hot off the press. Traders, you can receive the same breaking stories we do simply by subscribing at newsware.com. Check us out and get a free trial. Moving into our scoreboard, talking about how our picks did from Tuesday. I had DraftKings, ticker DKNG. It opened at $52.46 and had a good start. It quickly rose up to $53.89 by 10 a.m. and stayed around there until about 11 a.m. But that's where shares really took a sudden drop. It wasn't a big drop, but it dropped down to $51.75 and stayed around that range, closing up at $51.98 for a 0.91% loss. So didn't really do as well as I would have liked. That's how that one went. How'd yours end up doing, Bill?
I did Fubo yesterday, ticker FUBO. Fubo TV, the stock opened up at $28.29. And then, it ran up as high as $32.74 on that earnings announcement yesterday. So that was a 13% move. That was huge. It was a good win all around. You look at the stock this morning, and where's Fubo trading? It's up 15% to $33.07. So yeah, Fubo was a good call yesterday.
Nice. Well, that's going to do it for us here at Trade Talk. But traders, you know what to do. Let's get out there. Let's make some green.